New American Heritage.
Designing digital collections for user collaboration.
This project started at the Pratt School of Information and Library Science in a class taught by Dr. Christina Paciuelli. Our goal was to make recommendations for the design and technology needed to create an online interactive digital collection for a small folklife organization. Our client was Christopher Muley, Deputy Director of Council on the Arts and Humanities for Staten Island, or COASI. Chris works with several ethnic communities on Staten Island and documents traditional art forms such as storytelling, dance, and cloth weaving in video, photo, and audio recordings. Part of this material is spread across several web-based platforms such as Flickr, Vimeo, and SoundCloud, while much of the collection is not accessible at all. One of our goals was to find a way to organize and display these different media types in one unified platform. Community participation through uploading content and tagging files, and the ability to do this on mobile platforms was also an objective.
The specific discoveries we made for COASI can be generalized into a set of questions that any project for a small cultural institution should ask before making decisions about platform, functions, or design. The site would serve people who speak many languages, who may have limited computer access and expertise, and whose literacy may be limited as well. The site needs to address the traditional archive functions, preservation, presentation, and sharing materials, but also requires that users be able to create upload accounts. Therefore, the site should be multilingual, or even better, rely on an intuitive icon-based interface. Upload needs to be simple and streamlined, and a mobile platform is crucial, since users may be more likely to have smartphones than computers. The site's structure must accommodate a flexible but rigorous metadata schema so that materials can be shared in the academic community. Knowing what functionalities the site would need allowed us to pursue a focused, efficient investigation of how the site should be realized.
Our first step was to examine existing folklore websites to see if there was a gold standard for building a cultural heritage digital collection. We looked at 8 sites including the Citizen Potawatomi Cultural Heritage Center, Florida Memory, and the Hurricane Digital Archive. Our analysis made it very clear that there is no real gold standard. We did, however, find characteristics to emulate and avoid. For example, visual appearance says a great deal about the value and authority of the site's content. In fact, according to B.J. Fogg from the Persuasive Technology Lab at Stanford, the design look is the single most important factor in a website's credibility. Florida Memory proved to have the best design, exhibiting a contemporary look and a well-designed and intuitive navigation. Engagement and interactivity were also vital components to a site's success, and we're impressed with how the Hurricane Digital Archive facilitated user-generated content through social media tools and easy-to-read guidelines for users to add text, JPEG, WAV, MP3, and MP4 files.
COASI intends to share their materials and wants to broaden their use. We know we need high-quality metadata in these projects, but often this is the step that gets left out. Folklife metadata standards first need to be able to account for both the complexity of folklife collections and the variety of materials created and saved by these institutions. Materials which can range in form from original art objects to anthropological field data, and which must be described so that the structure of each collection remains intact. Secondly, they need to allow data to be shared across the wide variety of institutions in the discipline. No standard effectively addresses these concerns yet. There is underway an effort to establish a folklife-specific schema, referred to as the National Folklore Archives Initiative, which is being spearheaded by the American Folklore Society. Currently in development, it is meant to address all these issues, and is supposed to be publicly available in early 2013.
We intended ultimately to present an outline of best practices for digital collections based on standards within the field. However, after researching relevant cultural heritage websites, metadata schemas, and digital interfaces, we found few protocols and fewer guidelines. Instead, what we see in digital initiatives for cultural heritage are opportunities for innovation. Small cultural organizations will be able to take an active role in shaping how collections and communities are represented online. Even more important, our research provides models for two-way communication between cultural institutions and the communities they serve. We expect it will be a contribution to the evolving field of interactive digital collections for cultural heritage.